Hello and welcome everybody to the next webinar together with 3DQR and VAM. So let me just quickly introduce myself. My name is Maximilian Unbescheid. I'm the head of pre-sales at 3DQR. And today I am going to present you some slides and of course one of our live demos here at our office. And yeah, as always, stay tuned till the end for asking any questions. And feel free to put them in the chat. I think Carl is going to read them out later at the end. And yeah, thank you very much so far. And I hand over to Carsten.
Yeah, thank you, Maximilian. I want to use the opportunity to thank you for this invitation and giving me also the opportunity to present today. And then in direction to the auditorium. Welcome to all of you. My name is Carsten Dohmann. I'm professor for technology management and innovation management at the FHM University in Berlin. FHM stands in a correct translation for University of Applied Science for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises. And that is luckily the target group, what you're also representing today. And I was asked to give a short introduction as a keynote about augmented reality in European industry. And I have prepared some slides what I want to share now with you. And let's have a look. It's now the full screen modus, right, Maximilian?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, welcome to this live internet presentation on this subject, augmented reality in European industries. And a short disclaimer here at the beginning. Every content is valid only based on the oral words of the speakers, or the speaker, that is me in this case. And I have also to underline that the entire content, what we have prepared here, is based on a project which is called VAMS, Virtual and Augmented Realities and Mixed Realities, co-financed by the European Commission under the Erasmus Plus program. The most important topic of our time is digitalization or digitization. If we take a closer look, especially in the international competitive markets, we can see that Germany, that is here on the right side, is still among the leading nations, but it is far away from leading this field. It is important when we look at the topic of digitization that it's not just an important to set up computers or use digital content. It is also important that social acceptable concepts are implemented and used in the work process across different generations. That's what we have here on the left side, digital society. In addition to the digitization, we also find interesting application fields in advanced technologies like big data or the next generation of cloud computing or artificial intelligence. So that is a big picture of digitalization, which is in front of us. I have pulled out here some smaller statistics for all of you to give very impressive numbers of how these new trends will significantly impact our future. On the left side, we see, for example, big data analytics, but also mobile applications with 59%, including augmented reality, that is part of this, and then the so-called back office oriented applications and implemented data. On the right, also very interesting, we see who is setting the trend. This undoubtedly is the People's Republic of China. That's still the United States, and only then the countries, then it comes to the countries of the European Commission, or sorry, European Union. Anyone who has ever been to China or the United States knows how digitization is implemented in all areas of life there. You can more or less regulate practically everything of your entire daily life via smartphone. It's quite interesting, I guess. So, but however, we are not concentrating on smartphones today, even if they are ultimate trend. or a center for technology-oriented innovations. It is also important that we see who and where and for what is triggering these trends and the hardware and software side. What is amazing here is that the Asian countries, that's what we have in this slide on the right side, are setting the trends, starting with Huawei, Samsung, and LG, means China and South Korea. It's therefore advisable to devote oneself to such market analysis with a certain curiosity and to draw, let's say, corresponding conclusions, for example, with the framework of such an event today, and then to introduce them in professional life with positive consequences. So furthermore, the global tendencies, what we can see on that slides, are also interesting, which are emerging somewhat independently of the individual provider structures or strong technological oriented countries. So on the one hand, there's a growth of the world population, and we had only just, I guess, last week passed the critical mark on the globe. We have the disproportionate availability of mobile communication, and practically we have an internet always available in the world. This has an impact on all of us, especially here in Europe and also in Germany, independent from the availability of 5G or something else. So this affects strongly or reflects strongly in fact that will be represented by the next generations of employees. They will grow up with the latest technologies, hopefully used in a sensible way in their school education, but it will at least enter the professional working life with a requirement from them for or to usability and availability. So, and here I would say you have asked yourself, am I or are we prepared? It is indeed time, yeah, to do that or to take it into account, because the time is running out. You can see it on this slide that is not a bold statement or should not be. Many of us or of you are familiar with some technologies and diagrams, and I also want to use this one. That is a placative and management slide. This one here is familiar to all of us or all of you. That's the slide about the dynamic technology developments, typical phases of introducing start of application and growing phases. But what you can see here, it is clear that the frequency is increasing dramatically. But on the next step, AR, augmented reality, is still on the market. It has been started as an application. And now it's a big question, how will it be grow up and how will it be adopted by all of you? So this cannot be just negotiated away or discussed away, it is still a fact. If we have a look into the, from an, let's say, an abstract perspective into it, from a strategic management perspective, then we have to ask ourselves, what kind of optimization should we start on all levels, and in which case, in which especially? What are the changes of our customers' requirements? How we are prepared on it to solve these questions? What kind of new forms of work do we have to implement? What kind of network work will be asked? And who is taking care, who is taking the responsibility of controlling, managing, and being autonomous by the end? We have done some surveys and statistics in our project. I'm not going through all these slides in detail, but I give some keywords here. And we have figured out that the AR technology is more or less well known, but, and that's important, it is also better known than the virtual reality glasses or the VR technology. That's quite interesting. I expected exactly the opposite side, but this is statistical manifested here. AR is still better well known or better known in the market. But interesting is, if we are looking forward, how deep is it implemented, and how, let's say, is it fixed implemented in the companies, or what kind of potential will be measured or put it on it. Nearly a quarter of all applicants, what we ask it, yeah, we are just somewhere agree or a little bit agree that still there is a potential of augmented reality to use it in our existing business cases. Then we ask it, is it implemented? Did you implement this? And here we got exactly the opposite answer, what we haven't expected. What about, yeah, 2 or 3 or 2/3 of the asked people are saying they have never implemented and never really used. That was only imagination of AR, but they never touched it, they never checked it out, they never made some practices on it. And that's exactly the point what we have to discuss and take into account if we want to prepare ourselves as SMEs or also as higher education representatives for the next generation of employees. If we are looking a little bit more into the details, we have reached a point that we cannot just say it is only an one-side story, it's a story and one-hit wonder or something else. It's still going on, and now it's time to jump on the train and to take the ride along others. We have also asked it in this survey among Europe, what kind of basic fields should be taken into account if it comes to the implementation of any kind of new technologies. This is here summarized in forms of XR, as that means the next generation, which comes behind AR and VR, but it covers also the single aspects of augmented reality as well. We have some main topics: technology, organization, and environment. That is so far clear. I have pointed out here 7 different examples. Also, you have to find the right balance of the features of the to be integrated hardware. Also, what do you have? What is your status quo of technology and hardware? And what will be the next step? Then, of course, opportunities of hardware and software, as that's the combination with software systems. Then the existing background office systems. And from the organizational aspects, what kind of research and development can be made in the future? What is the current state of skills among your employees? Is your organization prepared for a cultural change to reorganize digitalized work based on AR? And let's say also here the environment itself, what is done by your competitors? And if you just find some answers, at least one to one of these 7 examples, I would say you are in a good way. I guess that most of you cannot just really give a positive answer to these small amount of questions. Mostly you will answer, we don't looked into it before. So let's come to a different perspective into this topic. What we have to do is we have to bring the, we have to create an environment to transfer knowledge from the knowledge source, whatever it is, let's say experienced persons, into someone who is interested to learn. At the end, we have to make sure, and AR, what I have shown before in one of the slides, it is still an existing technology. It's not really out from the labs. It's still there. It is easy to implement. It's quite uncomplicated. We will see it later in the live demonstration by Maximilian. It is inspiring, or inspire, yeah, it's correct in English, inspiring. There is no need to add unlimited sources of technologies. Yeah, there's no need to do some expenditures, unlimited. It's better than it is nowadays available. It's easy to listen into it, for instance, in live presentations or practical parts, and then you can implement. And this, let's say, easy steps plug in, start, checking out, being satisfied with something else at the end is an important and interesting, easy-made learning effect. So slide. Let's change again the perspective. This learning effect, and I found out here the latest statistics from Bitkom, that is a German association of the industry, IT industry, and they figured out in their latest statistics that here, unfortunately it's in German, that teaching and learning projects and also applications in a professional context are the most required use cases for augmented reality. So that means it is still not a gadget anymore. It is not something made for nerds, yeah, technical nerds. It is practicable, it is useful, it's available for a less amount of an investment. And the next steps is parallel to the existing, let's say, well-established smartwatches or something else. AR glasses will be coming, and usual daily equipment, what we always use, independent from the use case in our private life or later in our professional environment. And the next steps will be then also metaverse and holograms. Let's come to an end also. Let's start the end of the presentation and general consideration. We have 5 steps in front of us, what we have to take into account: time, direction, speed, implementation, and also the new challenges. I will just go through this very fast. It is more or less well known by all of you. This is a typical magical triangle between time, cost, scope, and quality. That's always what you know. But this has been replaced by the magical quadrant. The core focus, or the main focus, goes to the term information. Information stands for all under the umbrella of digitization. And here I've just also listed some general questions on the right side. And the first one is marked a little bit in yellow. At what level of cognitions and preparation are institutions, that is directly mentioned to you, and imparting the AR knowledge to the employees, and how relevant is to your business world? And that's the question what you have to answer by yourself. I guess some of you from the auditorium, you are still answering to these questions. That's also the reason why you are participating today, and also want to learn. But you have to go through this later if you want to see it step by step, also to these questions more. If you find some answers to it, at the end, you have to take into account that you have to change the entire organization, the model of your organization. Change processes, yeah, in the digitization cannot be just put it away. You have to consider it. And then if you have done this, the big world of digitization under the use of, or with the use of augmented reality is then in front of you. I have here just put it in some practical examples, or pictures, images from practical examples where you can use it. Interesting is you should start now, or important is you should start now. It's time to do that, but you have to make sure in which level or in which range. Is it more local, regional, or is it global? Here you have to find answers. You have to be taking care of safe and protected delivery articles and services and products, how to, let's say, support remote maintenance or something else. This should be put it under this section here. And at the end, these total change of your organization, of all involved processes, leads then also to new strategic and tactical purposes or advantages in your business fit. So that is not the latest state, not the end of the world, to say. We have the Industry 4.0 label all over, but the next step will be, we have to connect all aspects of machines, of technical equipments worldwide via internet. and the big question, who we are as humans. What is our role in this big game? So we have to redefine the interfaces between human to human communication and also human to machine intercommunication. And that is a big challenge for all of us. And artificial intelligence, augmented reality, augmented reality, AR, is definitely an interesting step into that direction. It helps to increase the quality of information, and that is a loop back to one of the previous slides. You can just create, during the change of your processes and the entire organization so far needed and necessary, new business models, and also you can just activate new cash flows. In short, abstract of a generalized process. That's what you know at the moment. We have in direct communication face-to-face. We can integrate an independent third person who is just viewing this augmented reality equipment and is then directly at the point of action. We can do it indirectly with non-involved experts, and later we have then the integrated overall internet human to human and machine to human interfaces, communication. But these steps in between will be switched or will be skipped. And we are just coming here directly with augmented reality to a totally integrated, embedded, and assimilated network work, and work who is connected to each and everything. And that is a big thing what you have to think carefully about. And that is also the point what I mentioned at the beginning, Industry 4.0, and what will be the next step. So what do we need? Yes, I see the science. I have to come to an end. We need the resources that will be provided by companies like 3D and also others. But I guess 3D is here also a leading partner in this field. You need new skills, better skills, unique skills. You should activate this combination of resources and skills. You should try out these things. And then at the end, you will just summarize, or you will collect different results, positive as well as negative results. At the end, hopefully, the positive results will be much more. And then you can just also, let's say, transfer it into a success rate or in a more or less positive profit. What will be the future after you have implemented it? That is a slide. It is exactly 20 years old, from one of the famous business computing professors of Germany. He announced in 2002 that there is the virtual factory, the virtual plant in front of us. I have never seen it until now. It does not really exist, but it's only a question of some days, I would say. Then we have it. For instance, you will have it if you integrate augmented reality in your existing organizational structures, in the existing processes, to bring them more and more step by step into a digital or digitalized framework. And then after that, we have seen it before, the future is more or less open. You have to activate the existing materials or the flow of material and processes. You have to rethink and redefine the business logics. Also, it creates better and new forms of how to cooperate with others, independent from the existing things. That is a new step, a step forward. And of course, the integration cannot be ignored, and full integration into the cloud systems worldwide. No? That is, for instance, for remote maintenance and something else important. What we have learned at the beginning, the only constant parameter is time, but you know the time is running out. For instance, also here in my slides or in my presentation time, I would say I can just come here to an end. I have some slides here in the backhand or in the background, but it's not really necessary to show it. Maybe here the last one, that is the contact details. And yeah, if you are interested to learn something about more of the results, what we have generated in this European project under the Erasmus Plus umbrella, that covers more, not only augmented reality, it covers also virtual reality, integrates also the next generation in forms of mixed realities. But today we are focusing to augmented realities. And I guess, and I strongly believe, Maximilian, now we have an interesting live presentation of the 3D QR technology portfolio. Thank you for listening to me, and yeah, thanks for the invitation.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also from my side. And it was really interesting to see the insights of your presentation, because of course we are at our customers, and it's kind of on the equal side. So most of the things that you said, I can also relate to our customers. But maybe I can give you a quick overview of our existing solution for our customers, and I will try to share my screen after you stopped your perfect. Thank you very much. So as I said in the beginning, I just want to start with a presentation. It's just a couple of slides, and afterwards we are directly heading into the live demo. So I think all of you can see my full screen, right? If not, just tell me. But just quickly, the first slide should be like the main problem that we can solve today at our customers, so employees, is how to solve today's urgent workers knowledge gaps. So we are talking about upskilling, reskilling, onboarding, and so on. We are mainly focusing on training in this presentation here. So how to train the people or employees better and faster and more efficient. So AR is not Pokemon Go. This is just a quote because some of the people are always thinking about Pokemon Go. So it's just like a little mobile game that you can go around and catch some Pokemons. So augmented reality from 3D VR is much more business orientated. So it's not a B2C platform, but a B2B platform. And I just want to give you like a quick overview about what the problems we are facing together with our customers, because I think most of you, the German-speaking people right here, are knowing the word Fachkräftemangel. So right here, it's called like the quickly growing lack of qualified personnel. So this is the main problem we are facing today with our customers, and we can split it up in like 4 different parts. So first, the manual and technical tasks become more and more complex. So with raising of production and so on, the machines or plants are getting bigger and more efficient, but also more complex. And this is what the customers are facing right now. We can solve this problem in splitting different or complex parts into different manual, simple to know steps. I can show it later in the live demo. And of course, the big number of experienced employees retire. This is good for the retired generation, but not so good right now, because of course, there's a big lack of personnel right now, and in the future it gets much more worse, I guess. So our main goal together with our customers here is to gather the knowledge and conserve it on the machine. So gather every experience of their lifetime and try to get it back to the machine. It's pretty fun to watch actually, because also the older ones, so the older workers, are having so much fun and putting the information back on the real plant. So most of the things I'm talking right now here, you can see in the live demo, and I'm very happy about your questions afterwards. So of course, it's hard to get good people, and there are like people from all the world, and we are facing language barriers and so on. So of course, the best way to get around the language barriers to use photos or easy to understand instructions. And of course, we think we have the solution right here with 3DKR. And yeah, it's also pretty cool to see, yeah, how 3DKR can combine, yeah, expert information with, yeah, new workings, new workers from all over the world. And of course, we cannot really do something about the employee fluctuation, but yeah, with that, it comes to the customers to hire people faster, to onboard them faster, to be fast at the production site and so on. And this is why time is money, of course. And yeah, together with 3DKR, it's much more faster and easier for you to train your people on site. So of course, in the future, it gets bigger and bigger. They are struggling right now. Of course, there are many solutions, but one, if not the best solution, is to use augmented reality in your training or qualification of employees. And this is why this is just the problem side. So, but I can tell you, sorry, there is hope, because we talked about Industry 4.0, or Carsten also talked about Industry 4.0, but the next industrial revolution is coming, and it's, yeah, just we call it Industry 5.0. And there's just an, yeah, just in quotes, so an unofficial definition, because in Industry 4.0, yeah, data was being gathered, and yeah, the digital world was getting bigger and bigger. And we, or some of the experts in the world, are saying that the next industry revolution is to put the real data back to the real world. And this is, yeah, as you've seen, of course, the definition of augmented reality. So to combine the augmentation, so the digital data, together with the real world. And yeah, there are some key technologies, of course, augmented reality, as I said, and we can split augmented reality in, yeah, at least two different parts. So the remote assistance and the local assistance. So just to give you like a quick overview, remote assistance is mainly focusing on end-to-end communication between two people. So for example, like an expert sitting here in Germany is calling or is going to get called by an employee from somewhere. And so people are talking about a thing together and trying to solve problems. And then there's local assistance, and this is what we are focusing on, because the local assistant isn't really needing internet connections, and it's right here, right now. So the local assistance doesn't have to wait on someone around the world. You can start your training on site as you need it, and gather the information when you need it. And this is so the whole thing we are talking about at 3DKR today. So there are some yeah, easy steps, as you see in a minute, but yeah, what could be done by using augmented reality. There are plenty of benefits, of course. So you can fast and easy document everything. You can conserve, as I said, the practical knowledge directly on the machine, on the plant, wherever you want it. So we are talking about not searching for informations anymore, but finding them at the right spot and at the right time. You're much more faster, up to 50% faster in transfer of knowledge. This is, of course, because our brain is working in 3 dimensions. And as you see, the picture that you've seen, or a video or a movie, is put into your mind much more than just text, for example. And the next step is like something you've seen in augmented reality is even much more in your 3-dimensional brain. So it's faster and it's more efficient, because it stays better in your mind. So then there's another thing. It's called like you're self-training. You're training yourself permanently. So it's not called like you don't ever need trainers anymore. This is not what we are saying, but the trainers can be like added. So there can be benefits added to the trainer. So you don't always have to ask your trainer. When there's a QR code, just scan it and gather your information. And after this, if there are any questions left, just feel free to ask the trainer. And of course, then he can go much more into detail and tell you everything you want. Yeah, and as I said already, and we are focusing on just-in-time training. So this means, yeah, you're training, of course, before you get to the plant or to the machine, but of course you'll never stop training, and yeah, you can train yourself just in time when you're on site, and when you have questions. Augmented reality is here, or 3D QR is here to help you and refresh your knowledge, for example, or giving you the answers, or like a little short video or introduction where you need it. So as I mentioned, this is just a quick picture I want to show you, because after this slide, the live demo starts. So as you can see there are like plenty of informations on the left side, the informations that are already there, or yeah, should be there, of course. So like PDFs, documentations, videos, texts, yeah, pictures, and so on. And everything you need is just our 3D QR code. You can see it like on the left side right here. It's yeah, you have to stick it to your machine, and then you can arrange every information. And we call it like it's like sticky notes on steroids. Of course, everyone is knowing sticky notes, and you can just type a little, write a little text on it and stick it somewhere. And this is just what we are doing, but the next step afterwards. So like with more digital information, it's like a completely dynamical AR scene. So you can yeah, switch things, you can hide things, you can edit things, and so on as you want. And this is what I want to show you right now. And for this, I want to start the live demo, and I have to just switch to my iPad right here. So I need like half a minute of stopping. And as you see in the video, I'm standing now in front of my notebook, and I've like I'm just holding like an iPad right here. And when everything works fine, I'm also connected to this Zoom meeting right here, and I can start sharing my screen. So in a minute, it should, or not in a minute, like in seconds, it should start. And I hope it's like a not so laggy experience for you. So as you see, I'm just on an iPad right here, and there is our 3D Plus app in the middle of it. I can just hit it, yeah, and then it should open. And then you see like my setup right here. So it's like the Zoom setup on this laptop right here, and I'm just at our conference table. I prepared 2 AR scenes for you. One is lying here and one on the printer over there. So right now I'm in the viewer mode of our 3D QR app, and I can see everything in my view. And what I prepared for you is like a quick overview of this conference table. So imagine you're on your plant or on your machine. You just have to stick like a QR code there, and when you go to the QR code, it's it's shown in our app right here. You can download the scene in this area. So it's called webinar right now, and when I hit the play button, it's downloaded in like seconds. And as you can see, I just put some text labels right here. So of course, it's just a notebook. So you have to transfer to your machine, of course. So like different parts can be labeled right here. These labels are floating around in the air when you see it from the side. So it's I put it there to the notebook. Then there's like a Bluetooth device right here, like a conference device, where to find the TV remote, and of course just one small arrow guiding to the TV. So it's not really hard to understand right now, but imagine like it's not a conference table, but it's like a huge machine or a huge plant that's like hundreds of meters long, has hundreds of parts in it. And when I ask you where to find the Bluetooth device, you can see it in like 1 second, and you don't have to ask me whether it's this one, where to find it, what's the mouse or my smartphone. So it's very easy to see. This is just a quick demo, and I can just, for example, use my mouse right here so that you can see it's live. I can edit this scene. And right now I'm in the viewer mode, but when I go to the left side, you can see, oh, it's German. Just let me switch it to English. So on the left side, you see it's like a little logout button. So I'm logged in right now with my account, and right now I can just label, for example, this mouse. all I have to do is hit the edit pencil on the top right corner, and then I can hit the plus button right here. So you can dynamically add contents right here. And I want to create like a text field. So the first one right here, I just hit text, and then I can just label my mouse, for example, type in the numbers, and I use green all the time. When I hit create, it's created on this, sorry for this setting, it's created on the QR code. So it doesn't, I don't have to have the QR code all the time in my view, so I can look to the side. It stays there. This is of course what our app is doing. So I can just grab it with 2 fingers. I can zoom it bigger, and then I can put it a little bit behind, so you see like different fields right here, and I can just grab it right here with this feature. I put my finger down, and now I have it in my hand and can move it around. So I can, for example, put it to my glass of water, but of course this is not the real destination, so I can just hit it to the mouse over there, and as you can see, it's so easy to do. I can do it, of course, faster, and just put a glass here, hit create, make it bigger, and label my glass of water right here. So it's pretty fun to use. It's intuitive, and of course you can do so much more. You can edit text, image, for example. So just let me, for example, right here we have like a roll up, and I can just make a photo from it and reuse the photo, and it's gathered on the QR code right here. So it's so much easy. So digitalization in like seconds. So I can make myself a roll up in the back. So when it's looking too small, I can just make it bigger. And right now the roll up is there. When I'm finished, I can hit the cloud button right here, and then the saves are going to be uploaded. And for the next one who's seeing it, he then sees the mouse and so on. So just the last thing I want to show you right now before I go to the printer, because the printer is standing here. I can also import things right here. I can import already done pictures. Okay, there are no on this new iPad, but videos, audio, and so on. You can edit PDF, and this is what I've done here. Because in this scenario, you have to think of finding, for example, you have like the problem, the printer isn't printing, and you have to find the problem. And of course, you see there's like a QR code on the printer right now, and all the other steps are not as important. So what you want to do is you want to hit the X button right here, and then you can go to the printer, because right now in this scenario, there's like a problem, and you need like an overview or an instruction. So this could be just one part of it, and of course we've done something for you right here. There's like an quality thing right here. So I can download the scene, and as you see, you get like an overview. So right now there are 2 steps, as you can see here, and this is the overview step. You see where the paper tray is. Just let me take the glass out of the way. So I hope there's paper in it. Yes, of course. So it's like the paper tray, and you see there's the paper output, the touch panel, and so on, where to copy. And from the side, it looks like there are the colors. So then, of course, it's just a simple way, or a simple overview, but it's so easy to do. And when you can completely move around. So the QR code is right here, but when I move around, you see there's like a Wi-Fi module right here, so that you see when there's something broken with your Wi-Fi, you see where the problem would be. And here, of course, there's like the paper jam access. So I can just quickly look through it. When paper is jammed, you can hit here, hit the axis, and then look inside. So you can move around everything, and I've created like another step. So when I hit the right arrow, there's like another step, just loading some files. And here, for example, we uploaded some pictures of showing 4 different steps how to get the jammed paper from this way for example, and I think you can, yeah, you can look inside of it and put paper, of course, back inside of it. There's like a PDF you can scroll through. I don't want to bore, yeah, it's like a little bit boring when I go through this, but there's a PDF file attached. When you go around, there's like a little look inside of this printer. So I can just, this way, just let me move this picture like a little bit, because I think right now it looks better. So you can see there's like a little, yeah, piece of plastic right here, and in the normal way you cannot really look inside of it. So this is why we, yeah, just took a picture from it, that you can see where some informations are gathering. And here is your power output. Of course, one problem could be that there's no cable connected. So of course it's a demo, but yeah, you can put logos all around. And there are some two last pictures. So like a picture from the opened access right here. So that you can see how it should look. For example, right here, nothing is dirty and nothing is jammed. And when you look to the right, of course, it looks kind of similar, but for example, there could be some paper right here. You can have like an A/B test. So A, what it should look like, and B, what's it like. And then there's also like an instruction video from here. So how to yeah, come back from the paper jam. So I can go back to the first scene right here. As of course, I can edit everything right here. I can move it around if I like. I can give some more information, where to go around or where to see some information. And this is just what we want to show you right now. Just look, let me look at the time real quick. So I have like plenty of minutes left. And yeah, if you like, you can ask now if you have any questions, and I can hop inside of this app right now, or I can, yeah, just show you like the studio side from it. So just let me share my screen from my laptop again. So right now I can just show you the 3D Car Studio. It's like our web front end that's connected to it. And it's easy. It's like a web browser front end. And right now I can show you what it looks like from the yeah, web front end side. So 1 second. Right now I'm in this Xerox printer instruction. So it's the same scene as you've seen it already. There are some more informations right here. I can just hit it on English. 1 second. I think it should be easy to be switched to English again. So now it should look like Xerox. So here is my scene. And now you can see like the first step is called here overview. I can dynamically change everything I like. I can go to the second step where you find the pictures and so on, which I uploaded in the first place. You can make a third step if you like, or go back to the first. And there are some yeah, contents to be added right here. So it's very easy to do. You can just hit text for adding text, picture, and so on. So everything you've seen in the live demo from the app, you can also do here. And you can download your QR code on the right-hand side or show a test page. So it's pretty intuitive to use. And there are, of course, some advanced options you can put in, like a password, for example, or like a GPS log. There are so much things to do. And yeah, this is just what I want to show you shortly. And I'm very happy about yeah, being, or can, yeah, so that I finished at the right time. So I think there are some questions left.
First of all, thank you very much, Max and Carsten, for your informative presentations. And there's already a few questions. I, of course, want to encourage you to ask some more if you have some. We have probably enough time to answer them. Maybe someone has to leave early, but we will stay as long as there's questions. So one first question is, how do I recognize where augmented reality can be used to my advantage in employee training?
So back again the question.
Where augmented reality can be used to my advantage or as an advantage in employee training? Where is the advantage?
Okay. So I would answer it. So Carsten, of course, you can answer it too, but I would answer it like AR is best on problems you came across. So of course, AR isn't like an AI automation thing, but it's making people's work better or more efficient. So where the most problems you are facing with your employees, or like high costs problems are occurring, you can start with augmented reality, because most of the things customers are telling me, it's like one small step, and if you've done it correctly, nothing would be or nothing had been gone wrong. But yeah, this would be my answer. So there, where the most difficult tasks are, or the most money is lost.
Thank you very much. And another question that might be interesting for a lot of you is an internet connection required? So this is probably specific to the app. Is an internet connection required to scan the QR code, or can the data be accessed offline?
Yes and no. So when you first come to the QR code right here on my table, for example, you have to have an internet connection, because you have to download all the steps in it and all the contents. But after downloading it first once, it's like stored on your device, and afterwards it's like available offline all the time. So I cannot show it right now, because when I switch off my Wi-Fi, the connection would be lost. So yeah, after scanning it once, it's like there in like seconds, and you can go down and behind deep concrete walls and so on, where no Wi-Fi or 4 or 5G is coming, and then you can use it offline, of course.
So there's another person who asked something. It's not really a question, just thank you for your demonstration, Max. And another question is there what is the difference in using HoloLens or a tablet? What are the advantages?
Of course. Okay, so for everyone who is not knowing HoloLens is like an AR glass. So it's like not like in glass I'm wearing right now, but like a semi-transparent display in front of your eyes. And yeah, so there are some pros and cons about both technologies. So like tablets and AR glasses. The best way of explaining it is like iPads are so commonly used and easy to use, and there are no barriers to use it right now. This is why we are focusing on tablets and smartphones right now. AR glasses are around the corner, I guess, I hope, but right now it's not like the practical way of using it for industrial training or so on, because there are plenty of disadvantages right now. But yeah, you can test anything. You can test our app, of course, with your iPad, and I can highly recommend creating an AR scene by yourself, because the first time I've did it, my mind just was blown away how easy it was. So yeah, just test it out, try out the different devices, and then afterwards I think you can see what fits best for you.
Okay, another question is, what is the difference between VR and AR? I guess this might be meant in a use case way, maybe in a very basic technological way as well. I guess you both might be qualified to answer. Maybe Carsten, as the research expert, has an opinion as well.
Yeah, the most biggest or highest difference is the entire environment in virtual reality is artificial and artificial made. It needs programming skills to create this environment based on your ideas and imaginations. And in augmented reality, it's given by the name, it's an overlaying of a digital layer on a real existing scenario. And then you have just, let's say, both layers where you can look into it. You need, obviously, in both cases, technical equipment to make these things visible. But here, let's say, in the augmented reality, you're just always embedded in the real existing world and the small environment. It's an office or a workshop system, something else. And in VR, you can just laying on the couch, in your bed. There's no need to stand up. Everything is more or less virtual. It needs more investments and specific skills, but the activation or the use or the availability, is that right in English? The access to get it is in both cases more or less easier than 5 or 10 years ago. There are a lot of libraries available. That's only click and click, putting out, and then it will be automatically installed on your device, and then it works. As the ways to activate and to use it, it's quite similar at the moment, or easy.
Thank you very much. So we are actually running out of questions. Maybe someone of you, both of you, still has something to add. Otherwise, we are perfectly on time. We could end it here. So I leave it to you.
Yeah, maybe just some last words from our side. I can just highly recommend after this presentation, feel free to get in contact to us, because yeah, we can show you how easy it is to create your own augmented reality scenes by your own. And of course, in the first place, we are doing it together, and we can show you how it's been done on your machinery. But yeah, just feel free to contact us, and then we can find like an on-site meeting at your plants, at your machines, and create your own AR scenes.
Yeah, I can also give a short comment and closing word. It's time to do. To activate AR, as at least to be more curious than before, and then to check it out in forms of practical exercises in cooperation with 3D QR or others, maybe also here in Berlin at the FHM. Or it's interesting, you can, I don't know exactly from where the participants are now coming, or just joining us, but if you look in our webpage, it is just VAM-realities.eu. You will find the next expert close to you on your map, and then you can just contact them. And most of these experts have different, let's say, technical equipment by their hand, and you can just try it out there in live.
There's one last question coming in. Someone asking if you could repeat the URL of the website.
Yes, I just put it in here into the chat room. Yeah,
that would be perfect.
Yep.
Oh, I will write it again as you just send it to the discussion people, which are not the people who joined from the outside. So here, oh, I made the mistake of writing .com. One mistake after another. It is .eu. Excuse me. .eu. Okay. Oh, and your colleague Ian O'Donovan, Carsten, is asking you if you could mention the event, the upcoming event.
Yeah, yes, of course. Yes, we have next week in Berlin a huge half-day event about the entire project results, what we have gathered in the last 3 years. And we have also here a flyer, and the invitation is also available under this webpage, VAM-realities.eu. Carl, maybe you could just correct this here.
Oh.
Edit this minus, yeah. The event is announced also on our webpage. It is how to say, half-day event. We are starting at noon. We have a short introduction by myself about the most important topics, and then we are just having some presentations by the top researchers among our group. From Tallinn University, we have from Tampere University in Finland, we have from Leuven University in Belgium, as well as here from Berlin, FHM, and we have some practical exercises from the tech experts, also from Finland, including a company who is half and half German and Finnish, or Finlandish, I don't know the term in English, and also some other stuff, including presentations from Italy. And yeah, you can just join us. We have a live link. You can just join us from anywhere, or you come to the campus in Berlin. And it's always worth to go to Berlin, yeah, for an end of the week trip.
Okay, I think Carl was muted, but so.
Yes, thank you very much. We will share the details of the presentations and the recording of our webinar with a follow-up mail, and we hope to maybe see you in Berlin or see you when we talk about our technology from 3D QR. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.